Hi, today I'm going to cover how to do planks for beginners. Now planks are really essential in yoga and for arm balances, and it can often be really challenging because they take a lot of energy to just hold, and so we struggle with trying to hold them for 30 minutes, 1 minute, 2 minutes, but that's a process. It doesn't have to happen in a week, it doesn't have to happen immediately, and the most important thing is that the more we repeat, the better our planks would be. So I'm going to show some variations where you can do drills where you're holding a plank-like position for a brief second or two, and then you're moving in and out of it. That kind of helps build the strength that we need to hold a plank for a longer period, and it's also more engaging so you don't get bored. So I'll see you on the mat now. We're gonna get started with just coming on our hands and knees. Just push your knees back slightly so they're not exactly below the hips, and bring all your weight onto your palms. Make sure your shoulders are directly above the wrists and just hold it here, keeping your core pulled in. We're going to now move on to scapular push-ups, wherein I'm going to drop my chest down without bending my elbows and lift myself up with the strength in my arms. We're going to repeat this about 5 to 6 times, continuing to lower the chest through the arms and then lifting up with great power in the shoulders. You can do up to 10 if you like, but 5 is enough for today. Come back into a tabletop position with your knees behind the hips, not at 90 degrees. We're going to do modified plank. Now lift your knees off and bring them back. Just hold it up for a second and bring it back. So you're in a high plank, but not continuously. You're just coming in and out of it. Keep your core engaged as much as you can. Do about 9 to 10 rounds here. Inhale as you lift up. Exhale as you bring the knees gently down. Continue at your own pace. We will do this for a couple more rounds and then we will hold the high plank. One more time. Take it up and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and come down. We're going to work now on Chaturanga preparation, wherein we're going to lean forward with the knees down and go as far as we can and then push back up for 1. Come forward, push back up for 2. You can bring your nose down or you can bring your chin down. You can go halfway through. Whatever works for you, just work on that and try building your strength gradually over a period of time. A lot of strength is required to push yourself back up, so go down only as far as it is possible for you to come back up with control. Try and do about 9 to 10 rounds of this. And feel free to take a break in between if you need to. Once you're done, rest back and let's prepare for the next round. For the next one, we're going to work on dolphin push-ups. So find the dolphin position, hug your elbows, interlock your fingers, lift your knees off the floor. Make sure your heels are directly above the floor at a 90 degrees and bring your chin to your hands or further if you can. These are also actually really good to prepare for headstand. If you can do 15 of these, you are safely ready to get into Shirshasana. We are going to do 10 here today, and in between, if your elbows go wider apart, just bring them back together or feel free to use a strap. Only key thing here is try to minimize any movement in your heels and your feet. So heels stay stacked up 90 degrees to the floor. And as always, just feel free to take a break if you need to in between. After you're done, just rest in child pose for a few breaths. Take longer breaks if you need to, or let's rise up, come on to our hands and knees again, this time for some fun side plank variations. So from hands and knees, just roll over to your right knee. Left hand goes overhead and left foot extends out. So you're in a side plank with your right knee down. Make sure your right shoulder is above the right hand. And let's just switch sides. Resting on the left knee. And again, check in with the shoulder. If it's not directly above the wrist, move ahead and move your shoulder in proper alignment. Let's prepare to transition. Let's repeat on the right side. Now start working on lifting your chest up towards the sky, so you're getting a nice opening for the lungs as well. And let's switch sides again. You can hold these longer, repeat these more often, just whatever works for you. I find adding in movement helps me hold on to strengthening poses longer, and it's more fun this way. And come back, rest back in Vajrasana. From here, prepare to move into downward facing dog. We are going to do a few rounds of tiger curls, a variation of Sharabhakriya. So bring the right knee into the forehead, take it back. Then bring the left knee in, and as you do it, shift your shoulders above your wrist. So it is sort of like you're coming into a plank, but you're not holding the plank for too long. You're just moving in and out of it. It is quite amazing how much strength we can build by just moving in and out of these postures. And you can also hold them for longer periods, which is highly recommended. But I find that this way, it is easier to convince yourself to come back onto the mat and keep motivating yourself to work on your strength. Do 9 to 10 rounds of this, and as always, feel free to rest in between in child pose, do 5 rounds and then come back up again. And that's it. Just rest here for a bit, bring your knees down and come into child pose. Start preparing for the last round for today. We're going to start in downward facing dog, and we're going to bring the right foot halfway through to our hands and then sit down on our left hip. We're going to do a side plank variation in this posture. So take a nice breath in and lift your hips off the floor. Exhale down. We do this 5 times. Up for 2 and come down. Just 3 more to go. Lift up and back. Continue at your own pace. We're just getting used to carrying the weight of the body on our hands. Get up for one last time and hold it just for a few breaths. You can gradually start increasing the time for which you hold, but to begin with, just keep it 3 to 5 breaths. Let's switch sides, come back into downward facing dog. This time, bring the left foot forward halfway through and sit onto the right side. Whenever you're ready, let's start. Inhale and lift up. Exhale back. Inhale for 2. Exhale back. Keep pressing the right foot into the ground. Do 5 as per your own capacity and pace. You can make it shorter or longer. Rest a little bit in between. Anything is fine. This is the last one, and we hold it for a few breaths here. Again, working on taking our chest towards the sky as much as we can. Slowly come back down. Go back for one last time into downward facing dog. And then bring your knees down, come into child pose. Take as much time as you need to. You've done a lot of work on your arms. And then rise up, sit in Vajrasana and move on to your practice. I hope you enjoyed this. Do let me know how this was for you. Bye.